What's the one you must do when you get sued? Hi, I'm Scott Jacobson, president of Jacobson Professional Insurance. Today I'm speaking with Max Billek, the co-chair of WisonElser's Lawyers Liability Practice. Max has 25 years of experience defending lawyers, and his firm WisonElser has about 900 lawyers at his firm. Max is here to help us answer one good question. How are you doing, Max?
Good morning, Scott. Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. My question for you is, what can a law firm client do who's going through a claim for their first time, give themselves the opportunity to get the outcome that they are seeking?
Well, Scott, thank you very much for asking me to speak to your insureds. I appreciate it, and I hope I can provide some tips and maybe offer something of value to your clients. I obviously could talk about the fact that when you get a claim, you need to preserve your file, preserve your electronic communications, talk to your partners and your staff. Don't try to keep it a secret. That never works and can result in bad things happening. But I assume most of your clients already know these things, and they're going to be told these types of things, certainly from you and your agency. My goal today is to try to provide something that's a little bit more interesting, and hopefully your clients find it useful. When I talk to a client of mine about what to expect and how to get through a lawsuit, one thing I often do is compare the experience to the emotions that you will go through, and draw an analogy to the 7 stages of grief. That is something that a person goes through after losing a loved one. And I realize that getting sued is not as dramatic as losing a loved one, but nevertheless, what I try to do is talk about how there is a comparison between the 7 stages of grief when one loses a loved one to the 7 stages of grief when one gets sued. The 7 stages of grief was originally founded by a Swiss psychologist named Elizabeth Kubler-Ross in about 1969. And she, in fact, came up with the 5 stages of grief, but over the years, it's been modified to 7. I've taken some significant liberties and modified it further. And for our purposes, I like to talk about what a lawyer goes through when they're told that they're going to be sued or that they are in fact served with a complaint. I like to talk to my clients about the best ways to cope with these stages of grief. And in particular, I always tell folks not to try to go through this alone. It's important that you communicate with your broker, your lawyer, or your insurance claims person. You can use them as a consultant. You can use them as a therapist or a sounding board or whatever it is that you need from them. But don't try to keep getting sued to yourself, as you'll find you may be your own worst enemy.